Just wanted to give you guys a little review from the SJEB game, SJEB match, and go through some items. Obviously, a lot of this is going to be directed at painting the picture on getting the ball wide and in possession. So first things we want to look at though are some defensive shape scenarios when the goalkeeper has the ball on a punt here. You can see that the areas of where we are, we're almost just a little too high, and we definitely want to have our, our back line in this area, sixes, tens, and then forwards can be up here kind of stacked, no problem. But it's important for us to get into a solid shape, even though the punt doesn't go very far. It's just they're able to get numbers around the ball quickly, and it's important for us. You can see where our back line is. We're just way too far away from being able to affect the goalkeeper's punt. So, which leads them to be able to just find spaces to play into. And since we're so high here, when they're able to turn in midfield, now we have to run 30 yards to get on the ball or to have a defensive play. So again, recognizing this is all from a goalkeeper's short punt, we can win the ball. If you rewind it, you can see where the ball landed, and how we have to clean it up a little bit more in that scenario. Even as they get on the ball, it's important for us to transition back. In this clip here, you're just going to see we have we have clear possession of the ball, but we're just not taking advantage of areas to be able to play the ball, and it happens. So once we've got clear possession of the ball, can we get the ball moving into open spaces? So now I just want to kind of show you their formation, which obviously you may have seen already. But as they play players here, you can see that there's plenty of gaps for us to be able to play through them. Good initial ball here. The key here is for us to get the ball turned so that we can play quickly out wide, or even the long ball into our forwards, just to make sure that we're able to get on the ball and attack them a little bit. So, okay, it happens. We lose possession of the ball here. So the key is once the ball goes in and we lose it, what does our shape look like? And again, explaining this in a way like when you're in an expansive big shape, playing it out to the wide areas when it's open is, not negotiable. Like we gotta play it out there, because if we lose the ball going up the middle of the field, the transition moment for us to get everybody back is too hard on us. It's too hard on the body. It's too difficult of a task to ask players to do and get back and sprint. So you can see once we lose this ball, right back, left back, six, and two center backs are basically 2v2. So again, we have a chance to deal with it because we get our numbers back on the full sprint, and that's fantastic. But we're just asking them to do too much in these situations, and there's many times we could have ended this play, from here to here, but it just didn't happen, and they were able to score on us early, and which caused them to now bunker in a little bit more. So again, when we get that big shape, we want to keep hitting the ball, getting the ball out wide when it's open. And if the wide areas are covered, then that means that the central areas are wide open, or not wide, but they're open. So that's the type of game plan we have in a big shape. So we can't lose the ball up the middle of the field, because then that causes everybody to have to do 40-yard sprints over and over again. So just going to paint the picture and show you some of these wide areas. And, again, all of their players are in this area here, almost this football field. And, maybe that confuses us sometimes. But, the ball here that we want to play is just slipped in on the ground in, so that, or even in this way, so that we can get a touch and get service in. That ball out wide there also gives time for forwards and tens and midfielders to get into the box, okay? Because when Taylor's running at it like this, everybody's behind her, or maybe there's one other forward in front of her. So something, playing it out wide also gives us time to be able to get numbers inside the box. And again, you can see how many players they had in front of the ball, and then it causes us to basically, and that's a good early ball here. But the key here is piece, we've got to let Katie get around us, and then we play her the ball, and then again, that gives us time to get into the area. Instead, we're crossing the ball in and more hopeful than anything else. Situation in our build up here, get the ball through the middle. So again, we did a little triangle passing exercise where players were in the triangle the other night. Same situation here. Can we get out of this triangle quickly, and bounce it here, play it out wide, quickly? Because right now, Allie, I think that's Allie, and is in a 1 versus 3 where, yeah, she may get out of that sometimes, but when she doesn't, that's going to turn into another one of those. Here's our right back. Here's our left back. Katie's not that wide. Taylor's wide, and now everybody's got to sprint back to get into shape. We play in to play out. You turn right away and play her in. It's not a bad idea to play. I think that's Peace's feet there. But, can we play into this player? Or if Peace, if you get it, can you turn and play it into Katie? Because she's coming in, she was in the screen there, and now she's gone. Okay, so this is the example I want to give you. This is Delaney having to deal with a 1 versus 3 here because our outside back has overlapped to get us into the attack. So again, if we're going to have outside backs getting involved in the attack, got to give them the ball. And then when the opponent or the other team is able to figure out how to defend Katie, that should, or whoever the outside back is, that should give the central players a little more time and space to be able to get the ball. So again, now Delaney's in a 2v1 and see Katie coming into the screen here. Fortunately, they were offside, but again, it's just that thought process there. Okay, so instead of playing it right into the middle there, Stevens could maybe drop out, and then KK, it's important for you to get wider and higher so that this player has a lot more work to do. And once you'll see what happens as Stevens gets it. Key here. Okay, it's not just playing it to a player that's wide. It's that wide player getting, or the outside back, or wide mid, or even forward, getting as far wide as you can so that it stretches this square right here. It stretches them to have to defend out wider, and the bigger they are in terms of their shape, the bigger they are like that, the more gaps there are to be able to play into the middle. And that's, again, something we just have to think about a little bit. Again, picking up speed, KK, getting in higher and wider, getting a touch on the ball, and then serving it in right away. More difficult to do cutting it back across the body. Okay, good. The ball is here with Allie or Kelsey running. To this player here and create some more space for us there. Again, something to think about, gives us more opportunity to score goals instead of just playing it straight up the middle. So just a couple more here. Good run forward. And then can you continue to pick up speed and take your touch this way to create a bigger field? Doesn't happen, that's okay. But now how do we get the ball into feet here to go out wide to this open player there is the next step. Because I think that's Alexis. You can see how much space she has out here to mess with. We just got to open it up and get it out to her a little bit quicker. Good. How do we get it out wide here in this situation? Here's their 4 defenders. Are we able to play it in there? Can't do it. So how do we get the ball forward into this area? Except for they're, obviously defending it a little bit quicker. Okay, so again, most of you are playing inside the football lines right now, making it really difficult. And I'm pretty sure their coach just said, everybody stay within those lines and make them go out wide and beat us. And our problem is we just didn't do it because now everybody again is just inside this line right here. And we want to be able to play it out wide. So the hardest thing, again, this back to the first clip. Once we don't play it out wide and they have all their numbers here, then when we have to transition to defend, everybody has to do a lot more sprinting back to be able to get the ball back. But you can see they just create one little opportunity here on the run, and we don't secure the ball, and then they're able to just get the ball in behind. And again, this is all when it was our possession. And while they don't score, Katie makes a good save. Still very important that we recognize that. And it's because we did not play the ball wide. Good, takes a touch. Could we have gotten there a little bit quicker, gotten up higher, Kira, to get played the ball in front of us? Not a bad little ball in the alley, but again, the reason why it doesn't work is because of the amount of players that they have there. And yes, we may have scored a goal like that before because of poor individual defending, but when you play against a team that is organized in how they defend the middle of the field, we've got to be able to solve the problem. We've got to be able to create solutions. And most of the time, the solution is going to be to open the field up or to play longer or to put us in better situations to get a good possession, a rhythm of possession. So, anyways, hope this is helpful. I know it was very one-sided, and we're singing the music of wide areas again, but I just wanted to paint the picture for you and why we can continue to say it is it's not just one instance, it's a lot of instances, and when it's a pattern, that means it's a pattern that we need to break if we're not successful with it. So hopefully it's helpful, and then we'll see you guys.